2, chapter 2, text 23. Right? Yoga Ishwaranam Gatim Ahuhu Antaha Yogivesharanam Gati Ahuranta. Bahihi Trilokyaha Trilokyaha Pavanantaha Atmana Bahistrilokya Pavanantaratmana Na Karmabihi Tam Gatim Apnuvanti Vidya Na karmabhistam gatim apnuvanti Vidya Tapaha Yoga Samadhi Bhaja Vidya Tapo Yoga Samadhi Bhaja Yogeshwaranam Gatimahuranta Bahistrilokya Pavanantaratmana Na karmabhistam gatimapnuvanti Vidya tapo yoga samadhi bhajam Yogivesharanam gatimahuranta Bahistrilokya pavanantaratmana Na karmabhistam gatimapnuvanti Vidya tapo yoga samadhi bhajam Yogeshwaranam gatimahuranta Bahistrilokya pavanantaratmana Na karmabhistam gatimapnuvanti Vidya tapo yoga samadhi bhajam Yoga Ishwaranam of the great saints and devotees. Gatim, destination. Ahuhu, it is said. Antaha, within. Bahihi, without. Trilokya, of the three planetary systems. Pavanantaha, within the air. Atmanam, Atmanam, of the subtle body. Nam, never. Karmavihi, by fruitive activities. Tam, that. Gatim, speed. Apnuvanti, achieve. Vidya, tapaha, yoga, samadhi, vidya, devotional service. Tapaha, austerities. Yoga, mystic power. Samadhi, knowledge. Bhajam, of those who entertain. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhaya Charnarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation: the transcendentalists are concerned with the spiritual body. As such, by the strength of their devotional service, austerities, mystic power, and transcendental knowledge, their movements are unrestricted within and beyond the material world. The fruity workers or the gross materialist can never move in such an unrestricted manner. Purport: the materialistic scientists' endeavor to reach other planets by mechanical vehicle is only a futile attempt. One can, however, reach heavenly planets by virtuous activities, but one can never expect to go beyond Swarga or Janaloka by such mechanical or materialistic activities, either gross or subtle. The transcendentalists who have nothing to do with the gross material body can move anywhere within or beyond the material worlds. Within the material worlds, they move in the planetary system of Mahar, Janas, Tapa, and Satyaloka, and beyond the material worlds, they can move in the Vaikuntha as unrestricted spacemen. Narada Muni is one of the examples of such spacemen, and Durvasa Muni is one such mystics. By the strength of devotional service, austerities, mystic powers, and transcendental knowledge, everyone can move like Narada Muni or Durvasa Muni. It is said that Durvasa Muni traveled throughout the entirety of material space and part of spiritual space within 1 year only. The speed of the transcendentalists can never be attained, the gross or subtle materialists. Translation with repetition. The transcendentalists are concerned with the spiritual body. As such, by the strength of the devotional service, austerities, mystic power, and transcendental knowledge, their movements are unrestricted within and beyond the material worlds. The fruity workers or gross materialists can never move in such an unrestricted manner. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namah Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Savitam Nena Bhutale Swayam Bhagavata Mahim Tadati Vadandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsa Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Rughunathamitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakamitamscha Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sundurbyavacha Aditana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Yatkripatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Prabhupada Patita Pavanam. So, understanding the Lord in the heart, chapter of Bhagavatam. Step by step, the process of knowing the Lord and transferring oneself to his original position is being explained here. So, anybody who has the ability can transfer his body from this body, transfer his soul from this body to any other planet where he can get suitable body. As we saw, the yogis, they can transfer themselves. Wherever you want to go, we could go. You want to go to sun planet, want to go to moon planet. Scientists and astronomers, they want to go to many planets in this lifetime. That becomes difficult. You can go to the other planets, but you will have to give up this body. Scientists, astronomers, they want to go within in this body. Actually, they are not even going in this body. They have to cover this body with so many other things. Right? In this body, they can't go. They have to cover with so many things which is conducive to the atmosphere in that planet. They cannot expose their body. Wear a coat and suit and I'm going to moon. I'm going to Mars. Not possible. You have to wear the appropriate dress. If you wear the appropriate dress, then you could go. So actually they don't realize that this body is not suitable for any other place other than this planet. Because this body is made for this planet. This is earth, earthly place. Earth, water, fire, all these things are present in this world. And our body also consists of these things. Because Panchabhutas, Pancha Mahabhutas, earth, water, fire, air, ether, these things are the coverings of this material world. These are the substance with which this world is made. So with these things, being in the outer space, it is also present in our body in small proportion. So this planet, which consists more of earth and water, our body is also more of earth and water. Majority of the body is water, covered with fat, marrows and flesh and skin, predominantly made of earth. Within this body there is this fire which helps us to sustain, create energy for movement, energy for digestion. Then this subtle energy, fire becomes subtle energy in the form of all nervous systems, all electrical pulses around the body. As I say, we have bodies, heart is pumping 6 liters of this blood in the body. So we don't buy a half HP pump and fit it inside and pump it, connect it to a plug point. Where is the plug point? Where is the power? Body is generating all those things. So body generates power, just like a generator. So this is all made for this planet. Suppose you are in sun planet, this body will burn. But say you have a fire body, will you burn? You will not burn. Some other planet, you have some other element. So different planets are having different kinds of elements in different proportion, and that suitable body, you can be there. You go in this body and go to first of all you can go to sun. Say you're going to moon. They say they went to moon. So you go to moon, now they want to go to Mars. So they go to these places and look for, who's there? Hello, who's there? You can't see them, nor can they hear you. But that doesn't mean there's nobody there. Right? Say you go to the world of ghosts and knock and say hello. The ghosts can see you. They will say hello. But you can't see them. You can't hear them. So it is foolish to go to these places. Because you're not supposed to be there. Just like you can't go to the ocean and say hello to the dolphins and come. You need to have the appropriate clothing supporting your life. Then you can go there and play around. In the sky also you have something which keeps you floating. They can fly around and then say hi to the birds, the geese are flying around. Same way you cannot go around the space and say, oh, Narada Muni is going there, Durvasa Muni is going there. Not possible. So we think these are all untrue. But if we sit back and think, why not? Right? If the birds can fly, fishes can swim, and I can't do that, there may be other living entities who can do something better than me. Something which I can't do. And maybe they can't do what I can do here. The people in Mars cannot come and say, see the earthling. No, they cannot. So even according to the material understanding, looking at these millions and millions of stars, it is foolish to think that we are the only people here. Because Gita explains, spirit soul is sarvagataha. There is no place which is devoid of soul. Soul is everywhere. Even in this room, we are the only soul, 100 people or 50 people. No, there are so many souls. There are so many ants here, much more than us. There are so many bacteria here. So coronavirus also around. Maybe millions of them. So if you say, what is the strength of this room? They will say 60. No. There are millions and millions of people hearing this lecture. So you can say that, no, I was talking to millions of souls, not to 50. So there are many things in this room which we cannot see. And there are subtle bodies. There may be some ghost also hearing this. Fortunate ghost. Every ghost cannot hear Bhagavatam. Some fortunate ghost can hear. So living entities in subtle form are existing. So just because we cannot see, we cannot perceive with these senses, doesn't mean they don't exist. That is the first understanding of a person who knows transcendental knowledge. With that understanding, we can see truth in what Bhagavatam and Shastras say. Shastras never tell untruth because they know more than us. So we are restricted. So the yogis try to free themselves from this restricted body and restricted mind because they know the soul is much, much more powerful than this body and this mind, this subtle body. So they want to go away, go above this material form. How? Through the process of yoga. The process of yoga involves sense control. They are all called transcendentalists, whether you are a yogi or you are a jnani, whether a monist or personalist or a Vaishnava, they are all called transcendentalists. Transcendentalist generally means anybody who wants to transcend this material world. whoever wants to go above the material world. So if you want to go above the material world, then you have to deny, or you have to be free from the limitations of this world. Then only you can be a transcendentalist. As long as you're drowning in the water, you cannot say that you are out of water. When you come out of water, then you're out of water. So you need to deny the rules of water. Then you can get into the rules of earth, the shore. So as long as we don't deny the activities of the material world. What are the activities of the material world? Sense gratification. Providing what the eyes want, providing what the nose wants, providing what the mouth wants, tongue wants, the skin wants. So as long as we provide these things that the bodies want, we cannot be transcendentalist. Some people become out of body, but they keep giving the materials required for the mind, for the intelligence, for the ego. They are also not transcendentalists because they are stuck with the subtle energies of this material world. May not be the gross energies of the material world, but the subtle energies. So they are also called embodied. They are also called, they are not the Bhatta Jivas. They are all. But as soon as you want to free yourself from this material, the requirements of the body, then you are a transcendentalist. Even when you are trying, you are called a trying transcendentalist. So we are also transcendentalists, trying transcendentalists. We are not following the yoga process or the jnana process. We are following bhakti process. Whichever the processes, you are called transcendentalist. So these transcendentalists try to free themselves from these bodily limitations and rise above the body. Above this world, they go beyond this world, Swarga Loka. But Prabhupada says in this purport, they cannot go beyond Swarga. Bhu, Bhuva, Suvaha, Maha, Jana, Tapa, Satya. These are the 7 planetary systems above. Similarly, 7 below. So 14 planetary systems. So up to Swarga, you can go with material desires. Prabhupada says Jana, which is part of Swarga. If you want to go to Maha, Tapa, Satya, you cannot. So the people who are, the souls who are in those planets are much, much more advanced. Advanced in spiritual knowledge. Means they are free from the bodily bondages. They don't feel hungry like us. They don't feel the sense urges like us. But they are also in the material world. So half of the people in the material world are controllers of the body. But in this earth, you have 2 options. You can either be free from the bodily conditions or you can be within the bodily conditions. So you can be liberated in this material world, in this earth also. So as soon as we deny the requirements of the body, we are transcendentalist. And that is a prerequisite to go beyond this body and mind. Deny the requirements. So in devotional service or in yoga or any spiritual process, bodily requirements are limited. So there is rules and regulations. Do this, don't do this. Regulative principles, follow these principles. Do this sadhana. These are all processes of elevating the soul out of this body. So Prabhupada gives 2 examples, Narada Muni or Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni also could travel. So people who are beyond this body, who are becoming beyond this body, they can start traveling everywhere. But you are restricted where you want to go. Just like in this world also, you want to go the richest country. I want to be in the richest country in this world. Which is the richest country? Now, USA is gone. No more. Say some, I don't know, Denmark, Finland, nowadays they say they are rich. They won't allow you unless you are also rich like them. First you have to show a balance sheet, your income tax, how much money you have, how much wealth you have, how good you are, what is the professional capacity, what are your abilities, can you contribute to the country, and then you come. So even in this material world, you cannot go to rich places. You want to go to Sudan? No problem. Because you are qualified to go there. Because people there are less qualified than you. But if you want to go to a place which is more qualified than you, conditions are there. So even in this world there are conditions. So if you have good karma, good money, good intelligence, then you are welcome to good places. Same way, if you have good karma, if you have controlled your body, you can go to a place better than this place. So Swarga. Swarga, you can enjoy so many things. Beyond Swarga, Jana, Tapa, Maharloka, Satyaloka, all are yogis. They can go anywhere. Just take off. Travel anywhere. They must be sitting and wondering what these people on earth are doing. Making aeroplanes, making rockets, and getting blasted. Why are they struggling so much? That same energy, the same power, the same tapasya. Because all this need tapasya, right? So much money is needed, so much practice is needed, so much technology is needed for putting one thing go up. So if the same time is involved in internal development, then you can levitate. Right? Why you need for aircrafts? So the soul can be lifted up. The problem is that I want to go with my material desire. I want to go with this mind. I want to go with this conditioning. That is not possible. So we are controlled. So transcendentalists want to go beyond this material conditioning. So the yogic transcendentalists, they can go to Satyaloka, Tapaloka, beyond Swarga. Brahma is in Satyaloka. Everything is dissolved in this material world. Brahmaloka will always be there. Satyaloka will always be there. Until the day of Brahma. That also has to wind up. So traveling to different planets in this material world is not a very big, exciting thing for a transcendentalist who want to go beyond this material world. So that is easy for Bhakti Yogis, because Bhakti Yogis, they understand the Lord who is in this beyond this material world, that is my destination. This is not my destination. My destination is there with the Lord with the transcendental body, and I also have a transcendental body which is engaged today. That is why this world is called Durga, prison house. We are in the prison house, limited by this body, by the iron bars of this body. So when we are liberated, we are in the spiritual world. So this is called science of Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada always mentioned. This science of Krishna consciousness has to be understood. Those who understand this science, Prabhupada does not say religion, this belief, this faith. This is beyond belief and faith and religion. This is pure science. So people say, no, I cannot be secular, I cannot be sectarian, I have to be secular. So we are not even saying secular or sectarian, we are saying scientific. We are all scientists. Achha? We are all scientists. Saffron dress, tilak, shika. What are we science? We are what is the science we are following? The science of getting out of this material body. The science of going beyond this body which is limiting us and going to a world which is unlimited. So that world which is unlimited, like Brahma Samhita says, Katha, Ganam, Natyam, Gamanam, Api, Vamsi, Priyasaki. The world, the real world of the spiritual life, no material body. So to understand that there is personalism beyond this material limitation, you need Sumedha Saha, you need intelligence. And that intelligence comes by reading the right Shastra. Not people who want to create something of their own. That is the beauty of Bhagavatam in the Vaishnava Parampara, which clearly describes our limitation and clearly describes what destination we have to go to and how to go to that destination. That is Bhagavatam philosophy. Step by step going out. Even it may take many lifetimes. Devotees are not concerned about that. Devotees are concerned that my gradually understanding the Supreme Truth in its real form? And am I understanding the cheating which is going on in this body? Cheating means limitations which is going on in the body, which is controlling my soul within this body by making me do what the body wants, by making me do what my mind wants and what my false ego wants, and not allowing me to do what my soul wants. Soul is sleeping. So the process of awakening the soul is this great chanting of liberation, like Prabhupada says. This chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is a great chanting for liberation. Because through sound we can liberate. Yogis try to liberate through yogic practices. Because the life air is controlled. The soul is balanced by the life force within this body. So by controlling the life air, he can pull out the soul out. Like we saw in previous verses. How a yogi can pull out from the top cerebrum of the head, they can pull out. Transcendentalist can dissolve himself. Neti, 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 I am not this body, I am not this body, I am not this matter, I am not this mind. And he understands spirit means some impersonal energy, which is also part of the absolute. Fortunate yogis can go up to Paramatma. And devotees, they understand the activity of the soul. When you understand the activity of the soul, then we get admission into the spiritual world, where we can continue activity free from all the limitations. Activities are not stopped. So we, in the material world, sometimes we don't understand what is spiritual activity, because we know activity means limitation. I can do certain things. I can only lift 100 kilos, or maybe 50 kilos. I am limited by body. I can understand some formulas. I can't understand beyond that. I am limited by my intelligence. I can desire and own and control this many number of people of this caliber, not beyond that. Again, I am controlled. So that is what happens in this material world of control. Now, how do I go beyond this control? But that doesn't mean that I am not at all controlled. Spiritually also we are controlled. We are eternally controlled, but we are controlled by the Supreme Lord, His internal energy. Control means not like material control. It's just like saying this small finger is controlled by the body. It's not that this is restricted. That control has no restriction. This control has utilization. This small pinky finger is used for this body. What the body wants, it does. That way it is subservient to the body. But it is part of the body. And is also enjoying along with the body. Same way when Prabhupada says the spirit soul is part and parcel of the whole and is supposed to serve the whole, it does not mean the servant-leader relationship in the material world. It is a mutually useful relation, just like the fingers and the body. So the spirit souls are supposed to serve the Supreme Whole, Supreme Lord Krishna. And by that service, he is also served, he is also happy, he is also nourished. That is a connection of a devotee and the Supreme Lord, which is full of activities, which is free from material limitations, starting from false ego and all the limiting factors in the material world, which is different things, kama, krodha, moha, mada, matsarya. All these things limit us. Anger limits us. Kama limits us. It doesn't limit us, it makes us a prisoner. Makes us a person who is dependent, addicted to that, addicted to material things. But simultaneously, if we practice being addicted to spiritual things, gradually, chanting of the holy name, which is transcendental, we are associating with transcendental. So we want to be controlled by the spiritual energy of Krishna. Materialists want to be controlled by the material energy of Krishna. Like two personalities, give an example here, Narada and Durvasa. Narada is controlled by Krishna, but he is free. He can travel anywhere. You can say Durvasa also traveled everywhere, but he is not under the control of Krishna. He was happened to be under the control of Maya. He was a great mystic. But he had this ambition to be a great person. He had the arrogance of belittling others. So as long as you have all this arrogance, belittling others, pride, karma, you are controlling the material world. So that is a controlled life. He is running around the universe. Why is he running around? He is running around because Sudarshan is behind him, right? But he has a capacity to run because he was a great yogi. He is going to Shivaloka, Brahmaloka, almost like Vaikuntha, must be Svetadvipa. See, that Svetadvipa is a spiritual world, even though it's part of material world. He is running everywhere. Narada is also running everywhere. But he is running in bliss. So it's up to us whether we want to run around this universe in bliss or we have to run around with fear. As long as we are in the grip of material world, we are running around with fear. As it is said, Krishna's energy of two types. One is energy which is supporting you. Other one is energy which is punishing you. Prabhupada gives the example of a cat. The same cat, same teeth, very, very sharp teeth. It is carrying a kitten. The same teeth, it is carrying a rat. A rat is like a Durvasa, shivering and afraid in the mouth of the cat. The Narada is like a kitten. The same mouth. So the energy of the Lord can be displayed according to our consciousness. If our consciousness is materially contaminated, then we are in a different consciousness. Material consciousness, which is limiting. If we are in a spiritual consciousness, surrendered to the Supreme Lord, then we are orbiting in a different orbit. So it's up to us. So this way, Bhagavatam step by step is teaching how to go beyond the material thing to the transcendental world. So transcendentalists are not interested in roaming around in this world, but they are more interested in freeing themselves and seeing their real form in the spirit, as a spirit soul, and engage in Krishna's service in the spiritual world. So that should be the goal of our life, which may mean denying certain things in this material world. Without sacrificing, you don't get that. So we need to sacrifice material things. So material things are name, fame, position, power, money, women, family, business, power to control. When we give these things up, then we inculcate spiritual habits. And spiritual habits are surrendered, humility, knowledge, always differentiating what is matter, what is spirit, engaging only in spiritual activity, always subservient to the Supreme Lord, and always friendly to all the other creations of the Lord. Not only that we are subservient to the Lord, we are subservient to all the other things, all the living entities created by the Lord. Then he becomes a friend of all the living entity. Then he becomes friend of this world also. Water, air, forest, soil, energies, everything is Lord's. So he uses it all in a friendly way, not in an exploiting way. So, two kinds of transcendentalists. One kind of transcendentalists who are called devotees, they are dedicated to the Lord. Other kind of transcendentalists are people who are frustrated with the material world and they are in a denying position. They are still trying to exploit the Lord. Even impersonalists are frustrated. They are not dedicated. They are not surrendered. They are out of the material world, but they are not surrendered. So devotee is the only person who is surrendered and who is in the real reality. Others are all assumed reality. Material world is assumed reality. Impersonalism also is a kind of assumed reality because he is not coming to his real position of subservient. He is also want to be like God. I want to be part of Brahmajyoti. There is still no surrender there. To give up, to become surrendered is very, very difficult. Most difficult thing. You may say yoga is very difficult. Jnana is very difficult. But actually surrendering is most difficult. So Bhakti Yoga, they say, Bhakti Yoga is for all japa madodu. All for people who don't understand knowledge. People who don't understand yoga. But try to do that. Bring a yogi and tell him to get up a Mangalarti 365 days. He'll give up and go. He'll say, no, yoga is better. Bring a jnani and tell him to surrender and wash pots every day. So surrender is most difficult than yoga and jnana. Even though they say that bhakti is for people who don't understand. But sometimes it's good. When you don't understand, it's easy to surrender. If you understand too much, then it becomes very difficult to surrender also. So one way they are correct. So if you remain simple and humble and uneducated in the material sense, you become educated in the spiritual sense. Because a pure devotee, he knows going to different planets, wasting their time, they'll say. They don't know anything about physics. They don't know anything about world economy. But they'll simply say, why are they struggling all these things? Because Bhakti Yoga is internally connected to the Supreme Lord. When you are in connection to the Supreme Lord, you know the entire philosophy, entire biology, entire chemistry, entire physics, entire aerodynamics, everything they will know. Why? Everything is created by the Lord. So when you say a devotee knows everything, it doesn't mean that he is expert in chemistry. He is expert in such a way that he identifies everything as a Lord's energy and he keeps it in its place. But he understands the superior position of the spirit and engages in the spiritual activity. Because a person in the jail is not very much interested in becoming popular in the jail. He is saying, I want to get out of this jail. I am the most obedient jailer, or I am the most powerful jail. What do you call them? Prisoner. I am the great prisoner here. I am the best singer prisoner. I am the best bodybuilder prisoner. I am the best intellectual prisoner. You are in the prison. But a humble, simple person say, I want to finish my 20 years and get out. So this prison house, how much knowledge you want of the prison? Same way, how much knowledge of this material world we need? Moon, sun, Mars, billions and billions of stars are there. We not even know one. We went to moon and came back, wasted money, if at all we went. Forgot it, now want to go to another place. This is called Marakata Vairagya. Monkey goes to one tree, eats some fruit, throws it, then goes to next tree. Eats something, goes to next tree. So he went to moon, not interested. Going to Mars, not interested. They'll keep jumping like this. So what are these planets? What are these stars? What is this material world? What is spiritual world? How to go to spiritual world? What is knowledge? What is not knowledge? In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says what is knowledge and what is not knowledge. Ignorance. You don't find knowledge of chemistry, biology, maths, statistics. You don't find that. It's not given as part of knowledge. Knowledge is given as humility, shastric knowledge, tolerance, patience. This is called as knowledge. Because by these things you can get the real knowledge. Others are all very objective knowledge of these objects you see beyond you. Other one is a subjective knowledge which is concerning you, the soul, and your relation with all that you see. We'll stop here. Any questions or comments? So the transcendentalists are concerned with spiritual body, not this material body. They are concerned with the soul. And by the strength of devotional service, they go beyond this material world. As long as we are fruity workers or gross materialistic, we cannot move around in this unrestricted manner. Okay. Pujas?
Puja, Radha, Krishna, all those things which are limiting us. And also, Prabhupada mentions that when we chant every day 16 rounds and follow the 4 regulatory principles, so Prabhupada will take us back to body. So when
Prabhupada will
take us back to body. So when Prabhupada is saying that 4 regulatory principles, does that mean that let's say you will be in the 6 days? So, Prabhupada also mentioned Bhagavatam that seems like starts with Puja, Radha, Krishna, all those things in this happening. So do we have to follow subtly and grossly also the regulative principles, or if we follow it grossly also, Prabhupada will take us recommended?
No. When you say regulative principles, it is for the entire body. And what is this entire body? It is gross and subtle. Both together are we. We are not just the gross form. We are not a lump of flesh. This is grossness and subtleness, both are involved. So when you say regulative principles have to be followed, we should not even do that in the subtle form. I am not drinking coffee, but 24 hours I am thinking the smell of coffee. So that is not following regulative principle. I want to give up sense gratification, but I am sitting and thinking only of sense gratification, nice eating, nice ice cream, nice vehicle is going outside. I joined ISKCON, I can't go out, but nice. So that is also subtle sense gratification. Like Krishna says, Mityachara hi uchyate. A person who is not indulged in senses, but who is meditating on sense objects is only Mityachara. He is only acting as he is a spiritualist. He is not spiritualist. So when you say you, when Bhagavatam or Gita, anybody says you, it means you, the full you. Which is, you means what? You the soul, you the contaminated consciousness, you the subtle body, you the gross body, you with all your karmas, all your prarabdha karmas, all your present thoughts, everything is called you. You is a very general term. So when you say you means, or I, when I say I means all these things. And I have to follow the regulative principle. So I have to follow the regulative principles in the gross form, in the subtle form, in the mental form, in the false ego form, in the imaginatory form, in whatever forms of your existence, of awareness. You should not be aware of that. So we don't be aware of these things, but we be aware of Krishna. So when awareness comes, that is consciousness. So we have to consciously not be conscious of the regulative, of the force-inful activities. We have to be consciously aware of devotional practices. Then we are called followers of Prabhupada. Only then Prabhupada will take you. There is no question of going back to Godhead without 100% purification. And Prabhupada will take only people who are 100% pure. But Prabhupada is available to you to become pure by serving him. That is the meaning of saying, I will take you. Prabhupada, when he says, I will take you, means what? Even if he is not following four regulations, drag him and take him back to Godhead. That is not the meaning. When you say Prabhupada will take us back to Godhead, as long as we are follower of Prabhupada, following 100% and becoming pure, then he is a way for us to easily go to Krishna. That's the meaning of that. Not that even if you are not qualified, no. Prabhupada said he will take us back to Godhead. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hari Nam Sankirtan, that is enough. You will get mukti. But along with that comes a big rule. What is the big rule? Ten offenses to holy name. So chanting, simply chant Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, it can come. But along with that, you have to do 10 things to give up. And that giving up is a many lifetimes job. So we have to understand it fully. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada.